in what should be our wet season here in Southern Cal.
Many are asking, why did these fires take place now? It is January. This is typically our rainy season. When you look at the climatology for Los Angeles, we get our rain in December, in January, in February, and March. But we had a very good last rainy season. We did not have much rain at all this rainy season. In fact, some of the departures really show us that Los Angeles, we've had not even a 1/10 of an inch of rain so far this rainy season, which starts on October the 1st. Santa Barbara, we've had a little more than a 1/2 inch. That's nearly 6 inches below what you would expect. Long Beach here, we're more than 4.5 inches below what we would expect here. San Diego is behind. Bakersfield is even behind as well, running little more than 3/4 of an inch below average. And so with the drying, we've seen drought ensue across the whole Southland here. Last February, we had no drought in any of California. And now we've got the severe drought. You can see that's expanded across Southern California, including Los Angeles to San Diego, the moderate drought surrounding that. And so that's really set the stage for the dry conditions and for everything that grew because of last year's rainy season to just unfortunately dry out very dramatically and become fuel for wildfires. You can see where the fires are. They're right in that area of severe drought. Again, so everything matching up. In the forecast, we have no rain in the forecast going forward for the next 7 days. It's a dry pattern setting up yet again, a blocked pattern, which really doesn't allow for any systems to come in here. And in the next several days, we don't even see any help really from a marine layer to at least increase the relative humidity. That's just not happening. You see the forecast through today, offshore wind. As long as that wind is moving from the east in some component, you're not going to be getting an onshore wind, which would bring in the moisture. So we don't see that. Looking at Wednesday, let me fast forward to that here. You see maybe a little bit of hope for a few hours that you get some of that marine layer. It'd be nice to see some fog, wouldn't it? But it doesn't really last as we get you through Wednesday. And we'll see from Oceanside to San Diego if maybe we get a little bit of moisture that can stick in by the end of the week here. But look, in the short term, we're not really going to get a lot of help from Mother Nature. Alex.
Absolutely. Well, tonight's wild
card snows that have been around Buffalo this morning. Scattered snow showers out there across Michigan as well. It looks kind of chaotic on the radar, doesn't it? You can see some of those light snows coming in across the northern part of Lake Michigan. I mean, in these streamers, you're going to get into some snow that is really intense, and it might not be really wide here in terms of width, but you'll get into some intense snow at times. Grand Rapids getting some lighter snow too, and I'm kind of seeing some enhancement again in narrow areas, but it's out there. Buffalo reporting snow right now. Watertown reporting snow, not at the moment in Syracuse. We have winter weather advisories for the spots where you don't have any one big plume of lake effect snow happening like over here in Traverse City or Grand Rapids, but we do have some, so we're getting some snow UP of Michigan too. We've got lake effect snow warnings though in the areas between Buffalo and down to Erie. Buffalo, you're under winter weather advisory. That's for the snow that you're getting right now, but the lake effect kicks in off of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario big time as we get into tomorrow. So watch how that happens. So, the wind is everything. The wind direction over the lakes is everything when it comes to the lake effect. And tomorrow, this is 7 a.m. Look at this. We've got the wind all funneling right over Lake Erie. And so you end up with a pretty good plume of moisture setting up, which is going to lead to some intense lake effect snow. We'll see the same thing here coming in between Watertown and Syracuse, crossing right over Interstate 81. And heads up, travelers, you'll be dealing with that throughout Tuesday and into Wednesday as well. We don't really lose it completely until really Friday. Then we finally see the winds change coming in from the south and out ahead of our next system, and that will turn off the lake effect. Until then, here we go. We are in it. Most spots on the western side of lower Michigan, looking at about 1 to 3 inches. There'll be some areas just north of Traverse City, probably getting 5 to 8, and that's because your air is going to get some multi-lake fetch. You'll get over Lake Superior as well as over the northern part of Lake Michigan. And so that's how you end up with a little bit more there. The bigger snows here coming over Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. Over Lake Ontario, look at this. Tokyo Plateau obviously showing up. That's where we've got 1.5 to 2 feet of snow. Syracuse about 2 inches. Watertown probably about 3 or 4 inches. So the elevation really does make a difference, and the trajectory of the wind as well. Over here, Buffalo, 1 or 2 inches, and that's really from today's snow. The lake effect will actually be south of there. And so that's where we've got 10, 11, 12, 13 inches of snowfall. Dunkirk, Jamestown, some of the typical spots will be getting into the bigger snows. Travelers on 86, travelers on 90, the New York State Thruway, and even 79 trying to get in and out of Erie will all be impacted. Erie, we are running a surplus. Buffalo, we're running a deficit, but look at these areas in between. I mean, that's where we've had the snow this season. Alex.
Indeed, indeed. We also had some snow. Good information to know. Thank you so much there for joining us. David Acuna, a battalion chief there for CAL FIRE, doing tireless efforts there. The whole crew and everyone who's come in to help the situation battle these fires. And as you said, help to save life and property.
The effort is so amazing. And, as David talked about, just the firefighters who are on rest, who want to get back into the fight because they want to help here. Just amazing souls. Thank you to everyone involved. You can stay up to date on the fires with the TWC.
I'm meteorologist Alex Wallace alongside meteorologist Jen Carfagno. Of course, the Weather Channel here to help you get ready for your day from coast to coast. First, though, we got to address one of the biggest stories impacting millions.
And that is the fire fight that is ongoing in Southern California, and also the fire threat that we have now starting again this week because of winds that are going to be increasing. Red flag warnings are up. You can see those behind us in red. It does not include downtown Los Angeles, but surrounding regions. And circled in purple is the area within that red flag warning that is a PDS, or a particularly dangerous situation.
And that's something they issue very often, right? They actually just started doing this back in 2020, and since then they've issued 6. Now, out of those 6 that they've issued, 5 have been just in the last 70 days. Just going to show you how dangerous the conditions have been here as of late.
Now, there are teams now looking for more than 2 dozen. Well, exactly. And you want to talk about why we even got to this point in the first place here. It's the weather. I mean, we're in the rainy season. We typically start the rainy season in December. This is the averages for rainfall. December, January, February, March is when we get our rain here in Southern California. We did not get rain this December. We have not had rain yet this January. LA, we have had only 0.03. That's it here. We are more than 4 inches behind. In fact, we're more than 4 or 5, even nearly 6 inches behind in all of the cities here in Southern California. So it has been a very dry start to the water year, which starts October the 1st. And remember, last February, we had no part of California at all in drought. We had quite the end to the rainy season, but now we are looking at severe drought in Southern California. We've got moderate drought surrounding it. Things have really dried up very quickly. We had a very warm and dry October leading into the time of year when you expect to get some rainfall, and we just haven't seen it. So that set the stage. When we had the rain last year, all of that brush and everything could grow. That was able to dry out in the summer and in the fall, and unfortunately that provided fuel for the fires. They are burning in the area under severe drought. So you can see how it's all linked up. No rain in the forecast in the next 7 days. Even looking at the pattern for the next 10 days, nothing really looks optimistic for getting a lot of rain. Maybe the end of the month there's hopefully a sign in the pattern changing a little bit. But one kind of short-term thing we could maybe hope for is to get some humidity change, because the air has just been so dry with the winds offshore. That's a drying feature. The air is coming from a dry source. The downsloping is a drying mechanism anyway. Looking through today and tomorrow, no signs of any relief in that. Maybe into Wednesday, we might get a little bit of influence from marine layer that might push up those relative humidities. You actually see it happen around San Diego. So, it's small and brief, Alex, but at least there's some hope from that.
Absolutely. Well, the Palisades fire, that is...